Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 14th Adhyaya of Traya Vibhag Yoga, and Sri Krishna has just in our previous reading, he has given us a brief statement about how these three gunas, each one of them, how they manipulate our beings, how they influence our beings, how they create a certain kind of attachments to the different things. And Sri Krishna told us that the sattva binds us with the happiness, with the bliss, with the joy. Sattvaṃ sukhe sanjayati. Sanjayati is attaches, binds. So sattva binds us with sukha part, the sukha aspect of our journey from here to there. So everything related to happiness, to joy, to pleasantries, to bliss is because of the sattva. Sattva binds us to that. Then rajas binds us to action. Rajaḥ karmani, O Bharata, O Arjuna. Raja binds us with karma, with the action part, and the good for nothing tamas for that matter. Although it is good for nothing, we can't escape from its influence. It is very much there. We cannot have only sattva and rajas. The third angle of the triangle automatically comes with it, whether we like it or not. And this tamas, it binds us to heedlessness, pramada. By doing what? By covering our knowledge, by covering our discrimination, by covering our thinking power with the veil of ignorance. Jnanam avrutya tu tamaḥ pramade sanjayati ut. But this tamas, by covering our faculty of knowledge, by covering our faculty of understanding as it is, it binds us to becoming callous. It binds us in becoming pramad, full of heedlessness. So this is what Sri Krishna told us in the 9th shlok that we read. Now, how these three gunas, okay, they are independently, their action is like that. Now, how these gunas, they act over other. How these three gunas, they try to dominate each other. It is not that only one guna is in dominance all the time. It doesn't happen, unfortunately, in the realm of this maya, in the realm of this delusion. It doesn't happen that only one guna is at its dominance, is at the ascent. All the three gunas, they keep on playing tricks. So Sri Krishna is now explaining what is the relationship between the three gunas, between themselves. So in the 10th shloka, Sri Krishna is telling us, rajastamaścābhibhūya sattvaṃ bhavati bhārata, rajaḥ sattvaṃ tamaścaiva, tamaḥ sattvaṃ rajastathā. Now there is a play, there is kind of competition between all the three gunas. Who is going to dominate? And Sri Krishna says that rajaḥ tamaḥ abhibhūya sattvaṃ bhavati. When the raja and tama, when rajas and tamas, they get overpowered, sattva predominates, sattva comes into existence, sattvaṃ bhavati. When sattvaṃ bhavati, when rajaḥ tamaḥ ca abhibhūya, when raja and tama, they are overpowered, then comes the ascendance of sattva. Now this is how the three gunas are playing between themselves. Each one is like our political parties, like our politicians. Everybody is trying to be one on top of another. And same thing, these gunas. Politicians are also, they are driven by the gunas. The players, they are all driven by the gunas. So whenever the rajas and tamas, they are overpowered, sattva comes into ascendance. It is the rise of sattva, and sattva shines in that individual, in that being. Rajaḥ sattvaṃ tamaścaiva, tamaḥ sattvaṃ rajastathā. In the same way, rajas overpowers sattva and tamas. It is all the infighting between these gunas. So when the sattva and tamas are overpowered, rajas comes into ascendance. And when sattva and rajas both are overpowered, then is the dominance of tamas. Tamaḥ sattvaṃ rajastathā. So all these three gunas, it is a wonderful game that Mahamaya is playing with us. Sometimes suddenly we see a person so saintly in characters. He might be a wretched person. He might have done the evilest of the things. But at times that saintliness, that holiness shines through him. How it happens, nobody knows. That is because of sattva. When rajas and tamas, they are overpowered, the sattva predominates. Even the worst kind of person will exhibit something good about him or her. It happens. And that good side of a person, that good side of a being is because of the ascendancy of the sattva and overpowering of rajas and tamas. And same thing happens. When the sattva and rajas are overpowered, the tamas goes up. When sattva and tamas are overpowered, rajas goes up. So this is how all the three gunas, they are trying to manipulate our living, trying to manipulate us, for that matter, becoming what we are. And this in turn determines what is going to be our next birth like. Till the time we are, next birth is we are not in that category of the enlightened souls who run away from this cycle of birth and death. These gunas, they see to it, and the overpowering of two gunas by one guna makes it a reality that we keep on dwelling in these cycles of birth and death. They see to it that we are not escaping. These three gunas, they make it sure that we don't escape. But one who has crossed over the three gunas, for that person there is no coming back. All the three gunas are inherent in the Jivatman. Now this is the contribution of Prakriti. The moment Jivatman gets embodied in a body, in the body, any body for that matter, whether human being or animal or plant or moving, non-moving, whenever the Jivatman gets trapped inside this prison, the Prakriti provides the three gunas. Well, my child, these are the three which you are going to play with. Or these three gunas are going to make you play. These three gunas are make you to dance to their tune. That is what the gunas are doing with us. These gunas again are interrelated like the three sides of a triangle. Now, we cannot perceive a triangle with only two sides, can we? It is just not possible. A triangle has to have three sides. And when we join the three sides, say for example, these are the two sides and there is a third side here. At every time when we are looking at the triangle, sometimes we see two sides. In certain positions, we may be able to, from the top view, we can see all the three sides. But when one side is projected to us, the other two sides, they remain hidden from us. But they are still there. They are doing their work. Although hidden, those two sides also are doing their work. Likewise, if the sattva is predominant, is sattva facing the side of sattva, we will say, oh, what a holy person, what a wonderful person he is. The moment we are with him, we feel as if we are in bliss. When the rajas side is exposed to us, we get influenced by that rajas and, oh, what a wonderful person he is. He is so active. He is doing so many works. He is always busy doing something, this thing or the other. But that doesn't mean at such times that the sattva and tamas sides, they are not functioning. They are also functioning. But maybe they are overpowered by these rajas. And when the tamas side is exposed to us, we know what kind of person that he is. But there also, the sattva and rajas, those sides, although hidden from us, they are still there. They are involved in doing their play. So this is what is happening with the three gunas in our body. When any one side of a triangle is placed in the forefront, the other two sides, they get behind perforce automatically. We can at a time, if we have to see a triangle sideways, we can only see one side. The other two sides, they remain hidden, but they are still there. Even so is the case with the three gunas inborn in man. In his calm and serene wakeful state, man stays in sattva, which nourishes him in joy and wisdom. Because sattva binds us with happiness, with joy. Sattva binds us with hankering after knowledge. So whenever we see these sides of a person, we know for sure that the sattva is predominant. We are looking at the sattva side of his individuality, of his gunas. The preponderance of rajas drives him into activity. Extremely busy person. He will take 10, he will be multitasking for that matter, he or she. But when overwhelmed with tamas, man can neither learn nor work. There is no knowledge, there is no activity. It is just a dull and lazy bum for that matter. He yields to lethargy and sleep. And in the course of a day, all the three gunas dominate us by turns over all the beings. Every day, 24 hours of the day, all the three gunas, one or the other guna is dominant. We ourselves realize sometimes we are so happy without any reason when the sattva dominates. Sometimes we feel like I must do this thing, I must do that thing, I must finish this work. That is rajas. And sometimes, hell with everything. I'll just sit calm, no doing, even not calm. I will just sit idle doing nothing out of laziness. That is tamas. Maybe I will catch up 1 hour sleep. Nothing doing. So this is how all the three gunas, they keep on playing in our lives, in the lives of all the beings. And Sri Krishna says it doesn't happen with only you and me or the human beings and the animal kingdom. It happens with all the beings, whichever a being, all the beings, these three gunas, and the preponderance, the dominance of the gunas in our day-to-day life, it determines what kind of life we are going to lead. So this is something which we should always keep it in mind. The moment tamas starts getting dominant in us, we should be careful. Let that not tamas raise its head to dominate, to overpower sattva and rajas. Let rajas not overpower the sattva as well as tamas for that matter. Tamas is overpowering, fine, at least it is acceptable. But rajas and sattva being overpowered, we go nowhere. So this is, let us, with this teaching that Sri Krishna has given to us, that how these three gunas try to play among themselves. Let us get into that mode where sattva overpowers rajas and tamas and takes us towards our ultimate goal, towards our ultimate destination. Let us try to put down this rajas. Let us try to eliminate, although we cannot eliminate, but at least let us overpower. Let us try to overpower tamas with more of sattva. A little bit of rajas also is not bad for that matter, because at least with rajas we can do something. We can take up all the austerities that we undertake is a result of rajas, no doubt about it. Now, if we look at it for that matter, a person with predominant sattva and a person with predominant tamas, from external outlook, they may look the same because both are doing nothing, both are inactive. It is only the rajas which is active. But there is tremendous difference between this inaction of the sattva dominant person and the inaction of the tamas dominant person. They are both, for that matter, inactive, but they are not. Sattva dominant person is not inactive for that matter. We may perceive that person to be inactive, but some kind of activity is going on in the mind of that person. Maybe activity of seeking the highest bliss, seeking the highest pleasure. That is what the sattva does. Sattva leads us to. So let us try to make it a point that, let among the three gunas in my being, let the sattva and rajas overpower the tamas, and let us start making progress on our journey forward. So this is Sri Krishna's advice to us in this 10th shloka in terms of how these individual gunas, each guna, they try to overpower the other two and bring in those changes in the person, those attachments in the person. So that was the 10th shloka of the 14th adhyaya, the Gunatraya Vibhag Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.